And now we welcome in Coach Kim Mulkey, a recent, I just got the recent news anyway that you're now a Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer. And I know you've been inducted into dozens and dozens of Hall of Fame, so it's old hat for you, right? This is just, kind of thing that happens to you, correct?
Are you crazy, man? This is the granddaddy of them all. This is something that a lot of players and coaches dream of, but I can't tell you that I dreamed of it because I never thought I was going to be a coach. And here I am 35 years later coaching. It's an unbelievable honor. I am humbled. I am, I just was very emotional when I found out, but at the end of the day, this is about the Lady Bear program, and it's about my assistant coaches, and it's about all those great players that I've been blessed to coach.
In terms of the last couple of weeks, since you've heard the news, I assume you've gotten messages from all over. Is there any particular one that has stood out, or a couple that really touched you? I mean, I know you can be emotional at times, and I'm curious as to how you've handled this stretch of congratulations for what you've accomplished.
Well, there are several things that stand out and do and did make me emotional. One was the parade, the social distancing parade that the Lady Bear fans, my staff, my neighborhood did for me within hours of the announcement of the Hall of Fame class. And I was caught off guard, and that parade lasted forever. It went over 15 minutes. So there were just a lot of people, and just their heartfelt congratulations from a distance, and the waves and the signs, and even playing the Baylor fight song as they
Yeah.
went by. That was very emotional. Anybody that has called or texted, and it goes back to my playing days, my teammates at Louisiana Tech, my coaches at Louisiana Tech, and then certainly my players from Baylor. And I heard from many of them, and they've gone on with their lives and have their own families, but they know that this doesn't happen without them.
Where you were that feisty point guard, and that goes, it started even younger in life for you. You were 10, 11, 12 years old. That ingrained in you. Do you look for that in players when you're out recruiting, and do you try to find that same fire that you have, because that's what a player is going to need to play for you?
Well, no, because not all of them have that. Some of them have it internally, but they don't show it. And man, when I see one, it attracts my eye, and I look and I watch, because they may not be the most talented, but man, those are winners because they hate to lose. Um, but I think you're born with it. I don't think that's something that you teach. I think you're born with a personality, and each player that I coach has a different type of personality. And it's my job as a coach to figure out how to motivate them. Some need kicks in the rear, some need hugs, some need to be motivated in different ways. And it takes a little while, but it's our job as coaches to figure it out. The one thing that never changes with each player is how you discipline them and how you hold them accountable. And but motivation is a big part of what we do as coaches.
And you talk about you're born with it. You don't teach that, and you don't necessarily learn it. But those early days back in Tickfall had to have some effect on what Kim Mulkey turned out to be. I mean, how is family? Have you gone back to there anytime recently? And I know back then you couldn't have imagined that your life would go to where you are now.
No, I couldn't. I knew that as I grew up, I was very competitive. I was competitive in the classroom. I wanted to graduate valedictorian in my senior class, and I did. And I was not the smartest kid. I did not make the greatest test scores, the SAT or ACT, but I knew if I outworked them, I could do it. I always wanted to compete, and it made me feel worthy. It made me feel good. And the losing didn't make me feel good, but it motivated the heck out of me. And then as I received my scholarship to Louisiana Tech, it made me feel good that my parents never had to pay for my college education. They didn't go to college. They didn't enforce, oh, you got to go to college. My parents were hardworking, middle income people, And we grew up in an environment where you went to work and you paid your bills and you loved on your family, and that's what we did. And then basketball at Louisiana Tech took me to places of this world that I would never have gone. I've played in all Eastern European countries with USA Basketball, played in the Olympics for Pat Summitt, got talked into coaching after the Olympics. And here I am today interviewing with you, coaching 35 years later. And who would have ever thought I would be at Baylor University? Who would have ever thought I would have left Louisiana Tech? Life has a way of working things out. And I always say this, that things really do happen for a reason. You don't understand it at the time, and you really don't even want to believe that. But as you grow and mature, you do see, gosh, this is where I was meant to be.
You've got a couple players about to be drafted in the WNBA draft. You were going to be a #1 seed in the tournament and a favorite to win it all. I know your opponents, they enjoy competing against you, but I think they wouldn't mind for you to go ahead and step away and let somebody else win something in the Big 12 for a change.
Well, I don't take pleasure in watching coaches that retire or watching coaches that get fired. That kind of saddens me, because we all at some point that will happen to us. Either we'll retire or we'll get fired. I just hope that when I do leave the game, people, whether they know me, whether they like me, it doesn't matter. All I want them to remember is that when she put a product on that floor, we better bring our best game. And that's all I wanted to be remembered as, is that, man, she had her teams ready to play. She won some games she should have not won. She won championships she should not have won. She lost championships that she should have won. I've experienced it all. There's not a part of the game on and off the floor that I probably have not had to deal with. But we maintain a level of excellence that we're proud of, and that I hope Baylor's proud of.
I'm sure that they are, and no doubt, Coach, thank you for joining us on the show here for sure. But your legacy will live on way past whenever you decide to hang it up. And clearly, you have put out a competitive product on the floor at all times, from pigtails yourself playing to the girls you're putting out there on the women you're playing with now. Thank you so much for being on Houston Sports Show, and good luck. Let's hope that the Naismith Hall of Fame will have that ceremony, and we can do that this year as scheduled, because you deserve it. It'll be a special weekend for you.
Well, thank you, and I've been blessed. H-Town's been good to the Baylor Lady Bears. I will continue to recruit Houston area and all the areas of the state of Texas, but that Hall of Fame will happen because of Kobe Bryant, because of Garnett, because of Tim Duncan. I don't know if it'll be in August when it's scheduled, but I can assure you it will be done upright, and it won't be done through a computer like we're having to do now. It will be done upright, and we'll all just wait and have a good time, and I hope you can get there, buddy.
Oh, no doubt. And I'll tell you, the 5'4" Mulkey will stand taller as all those NBA players who are getting in as well. So thanks a lot, Coach. We appreciate it.